artists get a bad rap for, you know, for being less structured. But I have worked with people that I really admire and respect, who you would think based on their work would be really efficient, killers in the room, making decisions and leading. Often those are the people who just go, I don't know. And I might not know today. And give me 2 days, 3 days, and I'll let you know. And they come back with something that is as good as the time that they were awarded to think on it. And even in the moment, if you're like, this isn't efficient, this isn't the logical thing, it's like, it does end up, the results are better.
It's the artistic mind. My older brother, he's 11 years older than me. He's the #1 jazz violinist in the world. So he's played and traveled the world with all the top jazz artists, musicians. Incredible. And he's just, the jazz world is another level of like artistic expression, of improvisation. And it's just, his mind is incredible. But he's probably the extreme version of you, where it's like, hard to make a decision and everything needs, and he's got some of you, it's like, he's so hard on himself if it's not the perfect thing at every moment. So it's like the indecision can kill him sometimes. And then needing to look a certain way. And it's like, well, it has to be my perfect artistic expression. And it's like, I'm never going to do this type of art because it's, it crushes my soul if it's not this way. And so I'm like, yeah, but you can make a lot of money over here too. And he's like, well, but I can't put something out there unless it's true to the art form of jazz. And I'm like, all right, man, it's like, it's what makes him great, but also like kind of his challenge that hurts him from like,
worst enemy.
Yeah, making more money or, being more commercial or whatever it might be. So, what about you, but for biggest lesson you've learned from fame, success, and money? What has it taught you?
I think probably fame and success. I think success used to be like plaques on the wall and sold out stadiums and arenas. And now it's just like a quiet morning and quiet time with my kids, or like a destination. Like that's success, like just being happy. Fame, I think, is like, it's something that naturally you look at and it's like, when I meet young artists, I always ask them, like, do you have any advice? And the first question I ask them a question back. I'm like, why do you want to do this? And if they say they want to be famous, I'm like, and I usually look at their mom or dad. I'm like, maybe they should stay in music class for a little longer, see if they like it. Because I think if you're getting into it for fame, that's just not what it's about. I think like that is such a double-edged sword, and we've been, I guess, poked many times by the other side of the sword in a negative way, where it's just not fun. And it comes with a lot of pressures, and especially as a young person, like we started. And there are amazing things that it also comes with. Naturally, being able to help other people through the power of music. We've met some incredible people just recently, people that have been affected by cancer. And we've spent so much incredible time with people who are sick kids or are going through some crazy things. And you play a song that you think, well, we're going to play this on the set list. And you look out and you're like, oh, that's that person's like, that got them through something crazy. And you hear these real stories.
And you've sung it thousands of times.
Yes, of course. And it brings out, like, we have a song, Little Bird. We wrote it, we have this song that is essentially a dedication to our daughters. And now it's kind of taken a life of its own. It's people usually holding signs. Can you sing this about my father or parent who's no longer with us? Or my child is no longer with us. And you're just like, oh. And so the fact that we can help, I think genuinely a reason to do what I love is the fact that I can help others in some way, whether it makes them feel something or distract them at a concert. Like that part of fame, great. If I can help people, that's what it's about. Now, money, I think I am probably least money smart here, but I think I also love to take, as long as I'm able to take care of my friends and family, and I'm good. I've smartened up because I had to, having kids, but I think surround myself with great people that know what they're talking about, and that can make sure that there's longevity there, but also have fun in the process. I mean, I think it's I don't want to be just behind a desk, and I'm not. I'm grateful for that, but I should say in the sense of just working all the time. I want to be able to enjoy why I'm doing this and go live life and find the kind of simplicities. That's what it's about. So I think like if I can create amazing things for my kids and also keeping them in somewhat like humble creatively, that's what I hope for.
Sure. If you could go back before your first gig as a group, 20 or whatever years ago it was, and you can play your life 20 years in advance to where you are now, all the ups and downs, the success, the fame, the money, the loss, the heartbreaks, the love, all the different stuff. What's one thing you'd say to your younger self right before you started about where you are now? One piece of advice. I'll let you start.
I have one funny one, and then I'll say the actual one. But remember your guitar. On the first night the first night we went on stage, I literally left it in the dressing room and had to run off stage and miss one of the 2 songs we played. So don't forget your guitar. But realistically, it's enjoy the moments, because learn to celebrate even the little moments, because we kept going so hard so fast that we would kind of never look back and we never celebrated. And I think we missed opportunity to grow as people because of it.
Okay, beautiful.
I would say fame and criticism are 2 very different types of obsession, and they have different tastes, and learn to not overeat.
Interesting. Okay. Nick?
Anytime throughout this 25 years, I guess I've been doing this, I've second guessed my first instinct and gone cut a different direction. I've regretted it. I feel like I would encourage myself to trust my first instinct and stand by it. If it doesn't accomplish what you thought it would accomplish or wanted it to, stand by it, because more often, the result is something you can be really proud of than if you've spent time cutting a different direction. So yeah, don't second guess yourself.
I had Rick Rubin on a couple of years ago. I don't know if you guys know Rick Rubin, the producer.
Very much.
You guys worked with him, or you guys know him, or just know
the
of
audience
him?
Comes last. It's my favorite Rick Rubin quote.
Yeah.
We had not worked with him. I would love to. But.
Yeah. I asked him about his creative process on the show, and I asked him about if he worries about what the audience thinks when he's making his music. And he says no. He says, I make the music for me, essentially. I'm paraphrasing him. And I try not to concern myself on how well it does commercially. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe he's older and got all the money in the world and he doesn't have to worry about that.
He's had all the success.
Right, yeah, who knows? But it sounds like he's kind of always been that way. Who knows?
No,
That's true.
He probably was.
I don't know. That's, I would like to think that way when I make, an interview or a book or whatever it is. Sure. I'd like to think, I don't care what people think. I'm making this for me, essentially, is what he's saying. How do you guys navigate that? You kind of mentioned it a little bit about really getting in a flow state of doing the thing you love, making music or performing from a place of love, whether it's a sold out audience or, half sold out. I mean, not that you guys never sell out anymore, but it's like,
there are times.
How can you show up when it's like, oh, we didn't sell it the way we wanted to, or people didn't react or respond the way we thought they would? How do you guys make art without worrying about the audience, but also making sure you make money to survive?
Yeah. The show I just did is an example of this. It's 8 shows a week, and the theater holds about 1,000 people. So that's 8,000 tickets a week, or roughly around 8,000, which is a lot of tickets. And that over, 14-week period, it's easy to look out and go, oh, this is only 1,000 seats. This should be pretty easy. But, it ends up being a lot of tickets to sell. And so, yeah, there was a few shows where the houses were a little lighter. And on top of what Joe mentioned earlier about staying motivated amidst, some criticism and what I truly believe to be just a theme in this last Broadway season of a feeling that there wasn't that there were some critical voices that were louder perhaps than the audiences were. The audiences would come and see these shows, and it wasn't just our show.
And they loved it.
But a critic's voice just rose to the top and became the narrative. But what motivated me was, regardless of, my first instinct, which was to look out and go, oh man, there's a few more empty seats tonight than there was last night, or wow, this is a bigger audience, was to look at the reaction and focus on the experience that's happening in real time. You know, I was speaking to someone who basically was saying, you're creating all these scenarios in your head. It's as if, you know, I put a box on the table and said, what's in there? And you created, there was a snake in the box. It's like, you open it up, it could be something else, but like you've created this scenario. It's not that. And that's what I was doing during that show. I'm starting to listen to the negative more than I'm really taking a second, regardless of how many empty seats there are, to enjoy what was happening in the room. And so as far as like staying motivated and creative and flow state, all this stuff, it's not easy. And it's not just our art form. You know, this could apply to someone at their job at an insurance company, or whatever your creative thing is, your process is. You know, staying positive and staying motivated isn't always easy, but there are ways to tap into it. And I think that the thing that's helped me the most has been to talk to friends and family and open up whatever inner sort of life stuff I'm going through to get through it. What's happening like outside of your work, that directly affects what's happening in the work.
So how do you navigate that then? Whether it's, any you can share this about it, how do you block out the noise of the outer world, or block out the noise of the inner world of the outer world, so that you can stay present and focused on creating your craft? Because you guys have so much busy lives, like kids, this, that, touring, business, fans, social media. It's like there's distractions everywhere. Maybe it's not distraction, but there's things that need your time and attention all day long. How do you block it out, the outer world and the inner world, to just say, hey, we're just going to create art today. And we're going to focus on this and not be on the phone or check with this person or your kid, whatever it might be. How do we navigate that?
There was a season of my life where it was probably the most challenging season of my life. And I couldn't escape comments and negativity and headlines. And so that was like the forefront of my day, or getting a call. It's like, hey, there's this, like, from a PR person. You're like, gosh, like, and you're just wanting to also got to go show up.
Put on a smile and be positive and
go on stage. And so I guess to answer your question, there was a director I worked with, JD Dillard, and above his monitor, he said, what do you want them to feel? And I wrote that on my like backstage mirror, like every night. And you realize that this is their show, the audience's show, and they deserve the best. And it's okay to be vulnerable. I think you fight that for so long to be like, I gotta show these people that it doesn't matter. It's totally okay to be like, yeah, this is tough and this is like a challenge, but like I'm here. And I think people respect it more. Authenticity wins, like always. And it's not always easy. I think like there was times where I'd just break down to these guys or be like, and they would have a real conversation. Like, do you want to cancel tonight, or do you want to, like, you know, not sing this song or that song? I'm like, nope, I'll do it all, because I feel like that's what they deserve. And I know that we're not hyper unique individuals going through certain situations in our life. Like everyone's going through something, whether if it, you know, feels like it's a big thing in your life or it feels like a little thing in your life. You're going through something. And it was so beautiful to be. I was at a Coldplay concert in Greece last year, and
that must have been epic.
It was like honestly one of the best shows I've seen live.
It's like a spiritual experience.
It really is. Yeah. And Chris Martin says on stage, he said, "How unique is this moment when we were about to go, I think, on the road again. So it was like I needed this." He was like, "How amazing is this moment in the world right now that thousands of people can be in one place and disagree on politics, spirituality, what you would have for dinner. And yet you can sit here and sing the same song and be like arm in arm and like happy." And I'm like, there's not many things like that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't go to even film, TV, music. Like it's very divisive. Yeah. And obviously what's happening in our world, there's a lot of heartbreaking things, but the fact that we could go to a place where we're putting all that aside and we all have core memories of a song that like could be that person's breakup song. It could be that person's like wedding song, you know?
Wow.
And we could be in the same room or same arena.
Shared experience.
I'm like, how lucky are we? And I think that's what they deserve. So I'm like, I could do that for them. And if I have to cry through this song, so be it. That's what.
And just to add to that, some of the folks from the show I was just doing came to see an experience that we did last week in New York. Basically, we were rehearsing music rehearsal all week for the tour, and we just decided to open it up to do like a live rehearsal experience for our fans. And it was a few folks who wouldn't, I think, categorize themselves as fans. Maybe they know a couple of the songs. But I said, just come and just see what the environment is like, because it is kind of magical. Like, Jonas fans are so loving, and it's such a joyous experience that I'm not naive. Like, I know that there are people that I've invited to shows who don't know a single song, or would even like say it just never hit them in culture or whatever. But when they come, they experience kind of similar to what he's talking about, that euphoric feeling. And it's why I love that I get to do this as my job. Creating in the studio is like my safe place. It's my favorite thing in the world. But getting on stage and feeling that feeling is like pinch me. This is real life. It's amazing.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy this and you want more inspirational content, make sure to click the subscribe button below and click right here to watch what's coming next.